happy little games. If you were an arcade fan in the early 1980s, then I don't have to tell you how big Pac-Mania really was. I can recall being 10 years old and seeing 4 or 5 Pac-Man machines lined up side by side, each one filled to the brim with people waiting to play. This was one of the first arcade games that both male and females could enjoy, which helped elevate the character to superstar status. Today, though, we are not talking about Pac-Man, nor are we talking about Ms. Pac-Man. This video is not about Super Pac-Man, Junior Pac-Man, or even Professor Pac-Man. No, the person I am talking about is a pint-sized little squirt who has a bow in her hair and a pacifier in her mouth. No, I'm not talking about Maggie Simpson. I'm talking about Baby Pac-Man, the star of the hybrid video game / pinball machine. Why did this game cause Namco to sever all ties with Bally? What machine did Baby Pac-Man first appear in? So let's munch on some dots and watch out for the ghost. This is the history of Baby Pac-Man. The year is 1982 and arcade manufacturer Bally is riding high on the success of Pac-Man and also their extremely successful follow-up Ms. Pac-Man. Let's just go back in time for the folks who didn't live during this period and talk about how immensely popular the character of Pac-Man was. The game was created by Namco game designer Toru Iwatani, and he set out to create a game that would appeal to both males and females. When designing games, his entire goal was to get players to insert as many coins as possible as quickly as possible. He has stated that the average length of gameplay should be between 3 to 5 minutes. He got the idea for the main character after ordering a pizza and removing one slice. This would be the start of a franchise that has been going strong for over 40 years. At the height of its popularity, we had Pac-Man cereal, board games, a cartoon on Saturday morning that lasted 3 years, and even a record that peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Top 100 entitled Pac-Man Fever. Namco was in the process of creating a sequel to Pac-Man which would be entitled Super Pac-Man, but others felt they were dragging their feet. A group of innovative MIT students decided to create an enhancement kit for Pac-Man, which would add new mazes, new cutscenes, and semi-random patterns for the ghosts. They went on to sell their kits to Bally, but only after getting approval from Namco. This enhancement kit became Ms. Pac-Man. The game turned into a huge success for Bally, and soon Ms. Pac-Man merchandise was flowing like wine. Over the course of the game and through cutscenes, Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man meet, and eventually a bouncing bundle of joy is delivered by the stork. A lot of people think this was actually Baby Pac-Man that was delivered, but no, it's actually Junior Pac-Man who would star in his own game a couple of years later. Once again though, this game was not authorized by Namco. Sometime after Junior was born, Mr. and Mrs. got together once again and created another burping, farting machine by the name of Baby Pac-Man. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Apparently in Pac-Land they have never heard of Pac contraceptives. Baby Pac-Man actually made her first appearance in the pinball machine Mr. and Ms. Pac-Man, which was released in 1982. It was around this time that Bally authorized one of his designers by the name of Claude Fernandez to create a concept for another follow-up to Pac-Man. He figures that the next logical step in the storyline of the Pac family would be a game based on one of their children. He didn't just want another traditional Pac-Man style game, but wanted to incorporate another specialty of Bally, which was pinball. Bally had been making pinball machines since the 1960s, with a couple of my personal favorites being 8-Ball Deluxe and Kiss. Mr. Fernandez had been inspired by the 1981 Gottlieb Frankenstein creation Caveman, which was a combination of video game and pinball. Baby Pac-Man was released in 1982 by Bally. The object of the game is to eat all the dots and avoid the ghosts who will eat you almost as quick as my wife plows through a hot fudge sundae. The first thing you notice upon inserting your quarter and starting up your game is that there are no power pellets anywhere on the board. In a rather strange twist, you have to earn your power pellets by completing certain tasks on the pinball portion of the game. There are 2 chutes located at the bottom of the screen. By entering these, it takes you down into the pinball section. To earn power pellets, you have to either spell out the word PacMan or do the hoop loop at the top of the screen multiple times. If you spell out the word fruit, it will change the fruit into the next highest order, offering more points. You can also spell out tunnel, which gives Baby Pac-Man super speed when going through them. If you lose your ball in pinball mode, play reverts back to the video screen, only this time the tunnels are closed. You have to eat all the dots to advance to the next board. The enemy AI is extremely aggressive in this game, making it one of the hardest Pac-Man games on the market. The red ghost in particular is even faster than Baby Pac-Man. All of the ghosts can reverse directions at any time as well. Another reason that the game is so difficult is that the screen size is smaller than the average Pac-Man board. There are 3 boards in total. Occasionally, you will get a cutscene transitioning from the video screen to the pinball with Baby Pac-Man riding down a pascalator. After seeing Bally produce this game, Junior Pac-Man, and finally Professor Pac-Man, Namco was angered so much that they severed all ties with the company. It's a good thing they did, because at the rate Bally was going, we would have ended up with Pac on Crack, a super speed Pac-Man game. Before Namco severed their ties, they did manage to end up selling 7,000 units of the game. In 2012, a mini prototype was discovered in the Chicago area. Aside from its shorter statue, it does feature slightly different graphics on the playfield. The characters more closely resemble their 1983 Saturday morning cartoon counterparts. Due to the combination pinball/video game, there were no official home conversions made available. It was, however, converted to work on MAME, so if you are curious, give Google a try, it is your friend. A homebrew port developed by Bob DiCrescenzo was made in 2019 for the Atari 7800. While not as polished, obviously, as the MAME emulator, it is still very good considering the hardware it's running on. The video game portion is extremely close to the arcade original, and even the pinball mode is represented quite nicely with fairly accurate pinball physics. For a short time, it was available on AtariAge.com, so check out the website because they may still have some available. Baby Pac-Man is a strange hybrid of pinball and video game. For me personally, I grew up with a love of both pinball and video games, so this is one of my favorite games to play, although the difficulty can be a bit much at times. If you are a fan of pinball or in video games in general and have never had a chance to experience this strange creation, be sure and give it a shot. You'll be glad you did. If you enjoyed this video or any of my content on my channel, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you would like to support me on Patreon, please click the link below. Thank you so much for watching.